It's
Now, are
dark
you
and bloody.
current on House of the Dragon?
Yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
do. Me
Why are
too.
you guys putting yourself through it? It's not going to pay off. You're going to be Game of Thrones
I bet
Vugful
this,
again.
dude.
What's
I
House of
bet
the
this shit
Dragon?
is 20 million an episode.
House of the
too.
Dragon, Scott, is the sequel, which is a prequel in the storyline to Game of Thrones. And I don't know if you watched Game of Thrones, but
Nah.
it was the best show on TV for like 5 years, and then it became absolute dog shit, like taking all the prophecies, everything that was going to happen, and throwing it into the dirt and not fulfilling them. And so there was a huge there's a reason that Game of Thrones is not part of the cultural zeitgeist anymore, and no one references it. There are no memes about it because they did that bad of a job.
We were
trying
very
to
big fans
finish
of
it.
that show. Woody has a room in his house devoted to it. I have artwork for it. Like we were very in depth and we read the books. We got into the lore. We made it a part of our personalities there for a few years. And then it ended so badly that I won't go back and rewatch it. And I'm someone who rewatches shit all the time.
Mhm.
This is the prequel season to that. It's like a fantasy medieval times where one family has dragons and nobody else does. And so the family that has the dragons is in this open rebellion against one another, trying to figure out who's the rightful heir to the kingdom. And there's like a dragon war going on TV. And everything Taylor has said is true about the other show shit in the bed. But God damn it, they're spending $20 million an episode making dragons fight in the air, and I want to see it. So
I won't get fooled again. I'm George Bush. Will not be fooled again. Fool me once on a dragon show. Shame on me.
Kyle, 1 out of 10 this season so far.
This season. Like a 6. Like a 6.
Okay. I would have said 6 or 7.
Yeah, I feel like 7's giving it too much credit, and 5 is shitting on it too hard.
Mhm.
I haven't loved this season. I thought there's been a couple of great action scenes I really cared for. Again, and I'm told that the black people are supposed to be there, but there's an awful lot of them now. There didn't used to be quite some.
Wait, you mean like in the book?
I don't know about the source material or the book or whatever. I don't know about any of that.
I'm pretty sure they have very white skin, blonde hair, and purple eyes in the book.
Okay, well, I'm referring to all the black folks that are on the TV show that we're talking about. I see a lot of them.
They're the seafaring dragon people, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Seafaring. That's why.
Yeah, they have white hair, Taylor. Like even the black ones have this white hair, and it's so ridiculous.
Long white dreads.
They have long white dreads. I like that guy a lot. He's one of my favorite characters. But now we're meeting a lot more black folks, and there's a black girl riding a dragon, and I'm supposed to be scared of her or something. Like they gave her a dragon, Taylor. You wouldn't believe this. Like what are they doing?
Oh my goodness, what's going on over there?
They're gonna be sitting in the front of the stagecoaches. Next thing you know. Anyway, that kind of you know me. I see these black girls with this white fucking wig on, like I don't know. I don't know why.
At first, I was like, I don't like that they're black because it's not true to the source material. But now I don't mind because it helps me distinguish the ocean dragon people from the land dragon people.
But all the black people look the same to me, so I can't tell who's who anymore. I know they're all related. They're all related. I know that because they have that white hair. But like, I don't know
there's
what
just
the lineage
part
is.
of the same family that's all black.
They're the Valyrians, right? Aren't they, or something like that?
Yeah.
So these aren't Targaryens, these are Valyrians, and they're all fucking. And well, it's complicated apparently, and it's all made up by that fat cocksucker who has no work ethic. So who cares? My point is, there's a lot of black folks in this medieval time show riding dragons and shit. And I'm having a hard time keeping up with all the black folks and why they're black. And it's just weird that they're black. I don't mind there being black people there. It just be like if you made, it's like when in Fantastic Four when they're like, actually one of you's black now, and it's like, but it's a family. That's like they're brothers and sisters. You know that, right? Adopted brother. Like, fuck you. What are you doing? So I give it a 6 out of 10, and I only give it that because I've enjoyed the dragon fighting. And the costumes look on point to me. But frankly, it's been a lot of sitting in rooms talking, but it's not that witty banter that you can be like, oh. Like it used to be like the smartest guy you've ever met was talking shit. And then surprise, surprise, he's not the smartest guy you've ever met. In walks this new guy who's fucking got it, who has information. He has whether it's Viserys or it's Tyrion with a fucking witty jab to throw at his sister. There was always those like almost Jerry Springer like gotcha moments where you throw it in their face. And the writing doesn't feel like it's there to me. It just feels like boring conversations in rooms about strategy. And it's the same thing over and over. It's being pounded into my head. The men won't let the women rule. The men are sexist. They don't see how smart and brave the women are. And if they ever could, then this would all be over. That's the whole message of the goddamn show. It's just men talking in rooms and ignoring women with common sense, and or not taking women seriously because they can't, wield a sword or whatever.
Every
It's
time
that
Matt
over and
Smith
over and
is
over.
on the scene this year, that scene is dog shit. Do I have
They
his name
drugged
right?
him.
Matt
They
Smith?
literally drugged the white male character, Taylor, and he has stayed
Is
drugged.
that what it is?
Remember when she gave him those fucking potions and shit? There's a witch. He's living with a witch in a haunted castle.
My dumb ass. I thought it was the
she-
haunting that caused it. That caused
she's-
these.
No,
Why
there's
does
no-
he keep drinking the potions?
He doesn't know. She poisoned him days ago. She's cooking his food. They're preparing it. They keep eating.
I'm
They've clearly
stupid.
poisoned.
No, I'm not stupid.
Women,
it's hard to
am I
pay
right?
attention to the show. It's too fucking slow.
It's all three.
Kyle's like,
I think you're
it's
right
just
too. It's all
bandit."
three.
Sometimes they're not even talking. Sometimes you're looking at a guy sitting in silence thinking. I'm like, this is the worst TV show right now.
They finally showed a
You guys are
woman
both
naked.
proving my point that
Dude,
you're
they finally
setting
showed a
yourself
woman
up to
naked
get
and everybody
got
was-
by another show.
I'm not
Don't
gonna get
do it.
got. I know what I'm buying in for. I enjoy what I'm watching for the most part. It's not dog shit. It's like a Wendy's hamburger. All right, it's not a filet mignon, but I'm not gonna turn down a Wendy's hamburger, Taylor. It's square. They don't cut corners.
That could have that's the most convincing argument you've ever made to me in the 10 years I've been doing this.
I appreciate
like
you
that.
saying that. Thank you.
I won't turn down a Wendy's hamburger. You know what? He's right. I wouldn't either. I'd eat it.
But I just don't give a shit. I don't like any character in that show other than Matt Smith. But the goodwill I carry on to him is from like Doctor Who or something. You know what I mean? Like I like Matt Smith. I don't care about Daemon Targaryen, who seems like a
He was
real
pretty good
cocksucker.
last season.
But see, like
He's all right. Yeah,
as a
he's
way
done some
to,
cool shit,
to
but he's
like
a piece of
boil
shit at
down,
heart.
as a way to like distill that this series isn't what it used to be. Like neither of you would recommend Scott start Game of Thrones.
Nah.
right?
Oh, okay.
Because I wouldn't either.
So that's a weird one. So here's what I'll say about Game of Thrones. It's monumental TV for like 5 fucking years. It keeps you spellbound, and maybe it was just the time when it was coming out because
Yeah.
YouTube and the internet was all over it too, and so you had all these YouTube channels that like did theory and nobody knew what was coming because they would change things from the books slightly, and so you'd even throw off some of the book watchers who knew what was coming. And there are scenes in this show where it's like, I'm trying to think of it'd be like if Luke Skywalker died in the second movie. It's like, wait, Luke Skywalker's not the guy? No, Luke was bitch made. It's actually Luke's brother. Like, holy fucking shit. But Luke's brother fell in the Snarlack pit. Did he? Oh! Like, that's what this show would do to you. It would take your Luke Skywalker gets his throat slit, like on screen out of nowhere. Like there's a scene in this show where like you're Luke Skywalker, your main fucking dude who you think's gonna be like the white, he's literally the good looking white dude with the big sword on the white horse who like slams pussy and saves kingdoms, and they cut his throat like it's nothing. And then the episode ends and you're just like, I guess next week we find out who picks up the pieces. And next week it's worse for the good guys. It's like this is a show that rapes the good girl. Like the good girl gets raped on screen, and it's like
like
awful.
season 1, like episode 4.
Rapes and murders and dismemberments and awful things happen to your favorite
there's no
characters.
But a lot of
plot armor. I really respect a show where no one's safe, right? If you watch, I don't know, most shows, and the hero is really having a tough time and he's surrounded, you're like, whatever. They're either going to give him flying powers, going to beat up 19 guys and get out of this room. He's the hero. Fucking Jack Reacher is going to be fine. And in Game of Thrones, all of a sudden Reacher died. You're like, wait, what? How could Reacher die? But he does.
Yeah.
It'd
Like
be like in
retrospectively, I bet it's not as good watching even the first 5 seasons of Game of Thrones because you're going to the whole time be seeing them hint at these prophecies and these plot lines that don't matter.
That bothers me in the show we're watching now. Because House of Dragon drops that Song of Ice and Fire quote probably every other episode. They because it is a secret that only the higher ups of the royal family know, and the king has 2 heirs, sort of, so they both know. And so there's like 3 people who know about it on the show, and they've all been told, and it's like this hushed, whispered thing, like, you don't even know. We have to be solid here because one day winter is coming, and they tell the little tale of the prophecy. And I'm like, no, don't worry about it, dude. Fucking a 14-year-old girl with that knife that dude right there has is gonna take him out like it's nothing. Like
so
that show let us down in a way that women haven't. I've had breakups that didn't hurt as much as what Game of Thrones did to me. It was hard.
I think Game of Thrones better on rewatch because the pacing is better. Like,
of course,
for example, you wait, like some of the seasons took like a year and a half, maybe slightly more than that. So you wait a year and a half and then you find out what this fucking season only has 6 episodes, and then episode 2 is shit, or 3 or whatever, and you're like, no, there were only 6, and now some incalculable percentage of them is bad, and like it ruins the season, it ruins the show. It's more important. But when you're rewatching it and you can watch 3 a day, 1 week episode isn't a big deal.
There's a character called Jon Snow, and I love that character so fucking much. He's like the goodest good guy that ever gooded. And like he's as pure as the fucking driven snow, which he's named after. Like he wouldn't tell a lie to save himself. He's that guy. Like he'd rather die than dishonor himself. And he's also, as the most arch villain in the show said, "I hear you're the greatest swordsman in all the North." like there's a point where these 2 armies are gonna fight, and Jon Snow's like, "How about me and you just fight? We save all these guys. We and you just have it out, and if I lose, my army will fall back, and if you lose, I'll take the castle." And he's like, "Ha! I hear you're the greatest swordsman in all the North. That'd be kind of stupid, wouldn't it?" And you realize that, like, oh man, this evil villain is not just evil; he's also smart. He can't be goaded into this honorable sword fight. He has no interest in it. Like the villains in that show. I think Umbridge. I don't know if you watch Harry Potter movies or read the books, but like Dolores Umbridge is one of the is probably my least favorite, most hated villain of all time. But after that, it's not Tyrion. Joffrey. It's Joffrey from Game of Thrones, and then it's Ramsay Bolton. In that order are the meanest, most cruel, actually most terrifying like villains of all time. Like this, the dude likes to skin people alive, and it's not just like his private thing that he has to say, "Oh, I got you where I want you. I'm going to skin you alive." It's like all the houses have banners, and some of the banners will be like a mountain or a big gold ring or a sunshine. His banner is a man skinned alive. It's like what they do. It's like it's how they roll. And he'll skin these people alive, and they'll just be out there like dying of like the cold because he does it so well. He skins this old woman alive one time. It's awful. He cuts a main character's cock off. He cuts a main character's cock off.
Dude,
it's wild show, man. It's wild.
Yeah, sounds like it.
There's shit in that show where you're like, that's a permanent injury.
Just to be clear, he doesn't cut his dick off and then kill him. He cuts his dick off and then keeps him as a man dog pet for like the rest of the show. Like it's fucked up. He changes his name. like it's rough. It's hard to watch sometimes. It's like don't cut his dick off.
Yeah. It was a good show, but it didn't end up being a good show. So I wouldn't recommend anyone I know to start watching it if they didn't already suffer through the last at least 2 seasons of that horse shit.
Yeah, it makes sense. I have a hard time recommending it. I guess I would go through the like speech I just went through to y'all just now. That like, man, there's some amazing shit.
Just watch incredible Oz.
Highs. What if you quit after?
Watch Oz on HBO. It's the saddest, most depressing.
Yes, Oz is hilarious. Eventually, meet the wizard. It's a feel-good story.
Yeah, you know how you have to wait till season 4 for Theon to get his dick cut off? Well, guess what? J.K. Simmons, the head Nazi, rapes Beecher 17 minutes into episode 1 of that prison show. It's insane.
I don't like that one. That's my least favorite show of all time.
Harsh. It's a little harsh.